myself. And so I would dash in, and there would be Govan standing in the middle of the office with the box of materials. I never knew whether he was ready to go down and substitute for me, trip the first faculty member by. I quickly learned I needed to say, Govan, I really do remember, I will be there, and I will be there on time. Don't panic. And he then stopped panicking, but he covers for all of us, and he takes care of all of us, and he worried about all of us. When he goes, we'll be left in the problem that all departments have when they lose a department secretary. None of us will be able to find a thing, because we've all said, Govan, I need, and he knows where it all is. When I was coordinating student teaching, I rush down and say, Govan, I just remembered I have to send a memo to the faculty listing all the people and getting their comments, and he would hand it to me. He'd had it done for 2 weeks. We'll miss those things, Govan. We'll miss you. We'll miss your gentleness. We'll miss your support, and we'll miss your caring.
I'd like to bring up Lynette Turman at this time.
Hi. First, I would like to say to Govan, it's a strange feeling to think of the Department of Teacher Education without you. And I just wanted to thank you very much for everything you've done. And I would like to share with you something that Judd did for me. I was gone this summer, house guest of Mimi's in France, and Judd left us. And when I came back in to teach my art methods class, this was in my mailbox. You all can't see it from there, but I'll tell you what it is and what it says. For those of you who don't know me, I'm now teaching elementary art methods here at the university. And it's a picture of a young, large boy asleep under a great number of paintings done by elementary-age children. And it says, in the school year 1986-87, 100% of the students will develop a heightened awareness of and appreciation for the visual arts. It's Judd, and it's me, and it's priceless, and thank you very much. We do miss you, and we'll miss you. The other night when I was here to teach my class, Kathleen said, I want you to talk at the retirement party, and I said, no way, because I get very weepy, and nobody wants to see me standing up here and weep. And she said, but it's going to be a roast. And I said, no, I'm sorry, I'm not very good at being funny on call. And she said, you've got to do it. And I said, okay. For 2 reasons. Number one, it's impossible to say no to Kathleen. And number two, I love Mimi too much to say no. But since Monday night, which has been probably the beginning of the worst week of my life, I've been trying to think what to say and what to do. Well, you know, once a teacher, always a teacher. And a picture is worth 1,000 words. Therefore, here's a picture of Mimi. All of you know Mimi is a daughter to begin with. She is a mother of Matt and Chris and a mother-in-law of Susan. She is finally, happily, wonderfully married to Jean. And she is a grandmother of Jean's grandchildren, Ashley and Christian. She was a CSUDH administrator. She was a supervisor of secondary student teachers. She was a teacher, first elementary, then junior high school English, then here at the university. She is a niece. She is a sister to Robert and Daniel. She is an aunt. She is And it's funny, I got this all done, and then I realized that one of the things that I really think about of Mimi I had left off, and I had no room for it. She's a reader and a writer, but Mimi is a speaker. So that got attached this morning before I laminated this. She's a friend. She's a wedding planner. You need to ask her about the the Long Beach gondola wedding she planned this summer. And she's a house sharer, of which I've been fortunate to do 3 times now during the summer. She's a chicken farmer. She is the most divine cook, absolutely fearless in the kitchen, and if you have not had a meal by Mimi, beg, borrow, or steal to get there. She's a traveler and a camper, and of the cars that she's had since I'm aware of, I think it all started with the Maxima, went to the BMW at the 50th birthday, and I thought that was the be-all and end-all, but now she's got the Jag, and that's definitely the be-all and end-all. She left Manhattan Beach because she refused to be a jogger in one of those little matching outfits like everybody else down there, and moved to Tacky Towers, and then on to San Pedro to her lovely view house. She is a gardener, a wonderful gardener, and what the future holds is a big question mark, and we don't know, but I am sure it will be equally as productive for somebody who is as multifaceted and talented as Mimi.
Oh, that's great.
At this time, we have a presentation to make to each of our renewed people here today, and we'll call Jose Lalas forward, and he and I will do this together.
It's really a great honor for me to be part of this ceremony as one of the junior faculties in the School of Education. Of course, I believe that I'm really saying goodbye to the big giants in the School of Education. Not only physically, but conceptually. Well, Govin, first of all, was very, very helpful to me when I was starting here in 1989. And even now, he would ask me how many paper clips I want, how many papers, how many cards, how many pencils. And of course, Mimi probably is not aware of it, but as we work together in the exceptions committee, I observed her, I admired her, and so now that she's gone, I volunteered to be part of that committee again and chair it. Of course, Dr. Taylor, I was hired by the university through him, and he is really a person who can work with all kinds of people and who is very, very progressive in his approach to education. So, goodbye, you big giants.
For each of our distinguished, renewed people here today, thank you for saying that, we have a plaque and a certificate, so we'd like to call them forward one at a time. First, Judd, please come forward.
Okay, the first giant is here. Presented to Dr. Judson Taylor in recognition of and appreciation for outstanding and dedicated service to the School of Education, Cal State Dominguez Hills.
Thank you very much. This isn't really fair. I had my day in the sun last summer at a marvelous farewell ceremony, and I didn't want to diminish this joyous moment for Mimi and Govin, two of the finest people on my journey at Dominguez Hills. These two people played an enormously important role in my life and were a major part of the success of this university. And there are no words to express what these two have contributed to this university. My new chancellor took me aside the other day and he said, Judd, I have to tell you, you have 1 year to tell how they did it at Dominguez Hills, and it has to stop. I have to say. I said, that was my world for 22 years. I'll try to think of something else if I can. But it really is a delight to return here today. We're having a consortium meeting of our National Consortium on Minorities